First, though, I want to see if you might be able to help with something. A new scheme has been set up in Windsor in the midst of the coronavirus, which basically means that residents can collect food on their doorstep. It's all run by Windsor Food Share team, and it's a way to support people who are vulnerable. Cllr Helen Price is part of the team who are organising it. And I wonder if you could just explain a little bit more then, Helen, as to how this is all working.
Oh, right. Okay. At the beginning of the crisis, we found that our donations dropped off considerably for understandable reasons. So we were searching for new ways of having a pipeline of food. And one of the residents made the suggestion that we people volunteer and put a box out in their front garden. And as people are walking by, they just drop in a jar or a tin of a non-perishable food item. And then once a week, the full box is delivered to the food bank, the Windsor Food Share, and then it's distributed. So we started the idea, and it's all done on social media, last Saturday, and we're now up to about 40 people who said yes, they want to do it, and they are doing it. And every day I get a few more. So we're going to have a fantastic coverage of Windsor. And it's produced a lot of food for us. So fantastic, the community coming together.
And it is a very visual way of, individual streets coming together and then thinking, right, this is our little collection hub. And therefore, when they're doing that daily exercise or whatever, dropping in some bits. And so it must really allow neighbours to connect as well.
It does indeed. And what some people who've come forward have said is they've already started a group of their neighbours. So they've been easily able to contact them because they started a WhatsApp group to support each other. If somebody has to be isolated, they do the shopping or they have to get their prescription. So there's already some networks that have been set up. So they're harnessing that. And then others who haven't, it probably will create a better network. So there'll be spin-offs for that people in that street that they will then be supporting each other as well as doing something for the more vulnerable residents. So great idea.
What's the demand been like for those essential items that you're collecting?
The demand's increased a lot. I'd say over a 4-week period, it's probably gone up 2.5, 3 times. In addition, the rough sleepers were housed and they are being provided with food through our Windsor Homeless Project and another organisation called Driven Forward. So that was a spike in demand in providing food for them. And they're provided with cooked meals through one of the churches and through those 2 organisations. So there was this extra spike in demand, and that's remaining stable for them. But in addition, there are residents who are finding that because their income stopped and they've used up their savings, they now just don't have enough to buy all the food they require for the family.
There are real worries out there for a lot of families, and you must be hearing about those stories and concerns.
Yes, definitely. And people are worried about paying their bills. If they have mortgages, hopefully they've frozen their mortgages to give them a little bit of respite. But it is really tough. But what's happened is that so many of the community have come together to volunteer. We couldn't do this if we didn't have our local community volunteering. Charities have helped. So now, instead of people coming to the food bank, we now deliver the food to them. And this is to protect our volunteers, so there's minimal contact, and also protect the residents not having to come together at a place to get their food. So a local charity, People to Places, and the charity arm of Chelsea Football Club have helped us with delivering the food. So it's harnessing all that energy that's there, which is just fantastic collaboration.
So there's 2 things here. So if you'd like to support and collect food in any way, what do you do?
If you'd like to support and collect food, then there are various drop-off points. You can drop them off if you're in Windsor. After the tills in the 2 supermarkets, that's Waitrose and Tesco's. If you're in a road in Windsor, then hopefully somebody has set up a box. If not, you can contact me, and you can find my details as Cllr Price, that's easy, and set something up. And that really helps generate extra food. And then I will just make a plea for the Windsor Homeless Project, which actually has some staff and they're in need of money to actually keep going. So the Windsor Homeless Project and Driven Forward. We're fortunate in the food bank is we've been given some really generous donations by a whole variety of organisations and individuals. So we weren't stuck for money, we were just stuck for finding the food. But those two charities just need a bit more money, Windsor Homeless Project and Driven Forward.
If you do need help yourself, what's the best way to connect with the services that you're offering?
The best way is to approach the Royal Borough Community Hub, and I haven't got the number on me, but if you go on the website, you'll find the Royal Borough Community Hub, and any problem at all, what they will do is find out what the issue is and then make contact with somebody who can then help the person. So whether it's food or prescriptions or feeling lonely, there's this whole setup that's been organised with local hubs as well as the Royal Borough Community Hub.
I'll tell you what, I know a lady who does have that number. That's our Jules, who's been doing them Make a Difference for us all afternoon, so we'll get that in a second. But so
fantastic.
Lovely to see everyone being so connected. And Helen, thanks for sharing that with us.
I'm really delighted, and thank you for having me. And let's just hope all that connectivity and the collaboration between people and the community working together continues when we get through all of this.
Absolutely. Councillor Helen Price there, just from the Windsor Food Share team, showing how local communities are coming together to support those who are vulnerable. And I love the idea of various streets in Windsor having these boxes that you can then drop in items that go off to somebody who actually is in need. All the details, by the way, of that Windsor Community Hub we'll get from Jules in a second, after a bit of Take That.